Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is the end of year video all beauty YouTubers are going to be doing. It is going to be the best of beauty 2018. I have decided to switch mine up again this year and divide it into like two. So I'm going to be doing the best of beauty drugstore and best of beauty high-end, but I decided to do something a little different and do a try on with all of my like best of beauty videos. So what I'm going to be doing is basically these are all products that I have just been like kind of outstanded with all year, majority of the year, a couple months out of the year, and I have a lot of stuff in front of me. So this is a lot of products that I'm gonna try to use, but I try to keep everything to, you know, one to two products every category. Highlighters have a lot. Lip stuff is like, I have a tray in front of me, so I'm just gonna kind of show y'all everything as I go, but I want to do try on, that way I can talk about everything and you can also see it, you know, obviously on my face in action. Everything will be linked down below also, just in case you are interested in any of these products, but I love watching these videos and I love doing these videos, so I hope you do enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. So first thing first is going to be primer. I have one primer. This is the primer that has basically gone through a year with me. Honestly, I have used almost all of it and I love it so much, and it is the Rimmel makeup primer. This is like the blue packaged one. I think they may have a red one, but make sure you get the blue one if you are interested. I do have oily combo skin. I'm pretty oily right here in like this area, you know, T-zone area. This is thebomb.com. I love how it has a good amount of oil control. It smoothes, adds a little bit of hydration, but not too much where my oiliness gets out of hand. I love this. I've literally used it year round, all year, and it's one of my favorites. I need to go ahead and purchase another one, but I hate that they took Rimmel out of like Ulta stores. I don't have it at my local H-E-B anymore, so it's pretty hard to get. Like I have to specifically just go to Walmart to get it, or I could always order it online. I have never checked though if like Amazon has it, because if I could get like a mass order of like 4 of these, that would be awesome. I really do like it. It's such a nice primer. It doesn't have any like silicone in it. It doesn't have that weird silicone feel. I just really enjoy this. That's why I literally only have one primer in this category, because this would be the primer that has been thebomb.com all year. And then foundation, I actually have 2. So I believe this was released earlier in the year. I sometimes forget like when some stuff was released, but this has just been like I said, the best makeup for me all year. This is the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. I have this in the shade LN3. I love this stuff, love this stuff. This is probably the foundation I can use that has the most like natural finish, because I have oily skin. When it has a more natural finish, you have more of that natural glow within look with the foundation, which sometimes can backfire on me, but this is the one foundation I love so much that I can use, don't have to worry about getting too oily with, and has a beautiful finish. And then another one that's probably a more recent favorite in the past few months for me, that's very, very matte, so completely opposite. This is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. I have this in the shade 030 Sand Beige. Since I bought this, they had 4 shades. They released way more shades now. This is probably hands down one of my top 2 matte foundations. It's like a powdery matte finish. You don't even have to set it with powder, it's so matte. But I like this on days where I'm gonna have to wear my makeup for a long period of time, or if I'm out in Texas heat. It definitely keeps me oily. I mean, not oily, it keeps me matte and does not have my oils come through. So I really love this, but I think today I'm going to use my Physicians Formula just because I really love the finish of this. And I actually am a fan of the doe fit. I know some people when it first came out were kind of controversial about it, but I think it's pretty cool actually. So I'm just going to be taking my sponge. This is like a $1 sponge from the Shop Miss A website. This is another sponge that I really, really love, and I'm just going to blend this out. I normally will always use a sponge to blend out my foundation, unless I'm like in a hurry or something, then I normally would take a brush, but we're gonna be using a sponge. It blends out so easily. It has pretty good coverage. I'm not one of those people to where I want like a full, like, you know, like you almost have a mask on with makeup. I do like to see my skin underneath, or I will go with like a concealer or something just to cover it up. And I'm gonna add a little bit more right here in this area, and then we will move on to concealer. Okay, so when it comes to the concealer, I have quite a bit of favorites. So kind of these four are not as newer as the other one that I'm gonna mention, but this right here is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I have this in the shade 10 Light. This is my favorite concealer for spot concealing. I do use this underneath my eyes sometimes, but most of the time I do leave it for spot concealing. So if I wanted to cover up this pimple or this pimple over here, I would normally go in with something like this. So that's my favorite concealer for that. My ColourPop No Filter Concealer, as you can see, I've used a lot of it. So this is another favorite concealer of mine. Great coverage. I feel like it does oxidize a little bit though. I have a fair neutral 10 and I definitely could go like a shade up, but this one does oxidize like I do say. Great coverage, really good finish to it, very natural. And then I have the Kat Von D Everlasting Concealer in L5 Neutral. This is a full coverage, very thick concealer, so I only ever use just a tiny bit of this when I have a lot of makeup on. And then I have the Too Faced Born This Way Concealer, which is a very natural kind of radiant hydrating concealer, which is also good also. So as you can tell, a lot of these concealers are different. And then I have my favorite concealer currently right now that I've been loving for like the past month or two. It is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. I have it in the shade C4. This is better than Tarte Shape Tape for me because Tarte Shape Tape can have a lot of coverage to it. It can be kind of heavy and just a lot of product. This is kind of like a step down from that. Really good coverage, easy to blend, doesn't feel heavy, and this is probably my favorite one of the year. Okay, so like I said, we're going to take the Makeup Revolution Concealer. I'm just going to do a little bit. I definitely do more than the Shape Tape because the coverage level is different, but this one I just like so much more just because, like I said, it's not that heavy. And then I'm gonna take my same sponge, blend this out. And then moving on to powders, two powders I've been loving this year is this number 7 translucent perfect light loose powder. I believe you can get this off Amazon and at like CVS and Walgreens still. I don't think Ulta sells number 7 makeup anymore. I think mine does, but I could be wrong. I love this. I don't really bake. I kind of just dab my sponge in and press it into certain areas. And then a little bit more of a luminizing powder is the Physicians Formula Youthful Wear Powder. I think this is my last year's favorites also. I love this for underneath my eye. It makes my under eye very smooth, kind of like light reflective. I don't know what. That would be my boyfriend calling, of course. So like I was saying before he called, I love this powder. I don't know what's in it. It's just very light reflective and very smoothing, but I am going to use my number 7 powder today just because I really like this powder. It's easy to bake with. It is a little messy. Fine. I just kind of like take my sponge, push it into areas that I want some powder. I don't really like bake with it really anymore. I haven't baked in a long time. I kind of just set with my sponge. And that is that. So that powder really doesn't require very much work like you just saw. I just kind of pressed it in with my sponge. And then we're gonna move on to brows. I have a couple different like brow things. I'm trying to find my little spoolie I have over here, but I have a pencil, I have a kit, and I have my favorite gel probably like of the year. So the kit I've been loving is e.l.f. and this is the best kit. I love this thing so much. So I don't really ever use the powder in here just because I find it pointless for me, but I love the like pomade part in here, and I have this in the shade Light. I really don't think this is light. This is pretty damn dark if you ask me, but I really like this. And then plus it's only like $3. So, and then the pencil I love is this NYX Professional Precision Brow Pencil. This is the best pencil. I love this thing so much. And I also love the Wet n Wild pencil. That's another really great pencil. I have this one in the shade Blonde, but this is what I'm going to be using today. Super easy. So I take this spoolie, which is on one end, and I just kind of comb through my brows, and then I will go in with the pencil on the other end. I've come to realize I like slanted brow pencils. I do not like the tiny little pencils that I feel like take longer. So these kind of slanted chunkier ones are much easier for me. I just take the pencil, like I did say, kind of comb through, spoolie through, and it just gives you a really nice defined brow. And then I go ahead and do the same on the other side. And that is pretty much it for my brows. It's very easy, doesn't require a lot of work, and I really like this pencil. I'm normally a pomade person. And the only other pomade I really loved this year was the ColourPop one, but I loved this pencil a lot more than that. And then my hands down favorite brow gel of the year is the Ardell Brow Building Fiber Gel in the shade Taupe. This is better than the Essence Gimme Brow or Made Me Brow or the Benefit Gimme Brow, like better than all those in my opinion. I love this, and I believe it's $5 or something like that. I love the color. It's got little fibers in it that do add some volume and texture to your brows, and it is seriously the best thing ever. This is like the only thing I use. Every once in a while I will take like my Maybelline brow gel, which doesn't have any fibers, it's just a gel, or I'll take like my NYX Control Freak, but this is hands down my favorite thing ever. I don't even buy other brow gels anymore because this is my favorite one. There's really no need because that is, like I said, my favorite one. So we are going to move on to eyes, but I actually quickly wanted to mention like another foundation. This is the Makeup Revolution foundation. That's kind of like the big version of the concealer. Also wanted to mention this foundation just because I really do like it also. I have it in the shade F6, and it's good, but those other two are like hands down my favorite, but I just wanted to mention that one also. Really great coverage, similar to the concealer, really nice kind of matte natural finish, and it's a really nice foundation. But I want to move on to eyes already. I have 3 things. I mostly buy high-end eyeshadow palettes unless they're from ColourPop. Like a lot of my palettes by here, Anastasia, and just different brands in general. So I don't really have a lot of drugstore ones, but I did pick a few that I love, and we'll just kind of see which ones I want to use. But this is the Persona one, their Identity palette. I love this one. You can buy this one at Ulta. It's not like super affordable. I think it's around $30 or so, so it's a little bit more expensive. But like I said, I don't really buy a lot of drugstore ones, and I really think this palette's worth the money. It has really good colors in it, lots of mattes, beautiful shimmers, easy to blend, travel friendly. It has a mirror. It's a really good investment. I do have a tutorial up on my channel, and I was also featured on their Instagram page probably a few months ago now, doing like a tutorial with the palette. But I really like this one a lot, and I love the color selection of it. And then super affordable, I have the new like Wet n Wild palettes that they released earlier this year, and I heard that they're releasing more, which is really exciting. So this one is not a basic peach. These palettes are really pretty. I have the rose one that's supposed to be like modern renaissance. I have the original Comfort Zone one. So these palettes are really nice. Comes with the transition shades, and you have some nice shimmers and some nice mattes in here. This is really affordable if you're on a budget. Really good color payoff. I do wet the shimmers, they're just more intense that way, but this is really good if you don't want to break the bank. And then another collab that I loved this year was the ColourPop and Shayla Perception collab. I know they've released like 2 more collections, but I can't keep up with ColourPop sometimes. They release so much stuff. But I love this palette, y'all. Mirror is gigantic, like seriously. Look at all those lip products I have right there. Bam. It's a lot. Mostly ColourPop, but it's a lot. But like, can you just look at that color selection? It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, I love this so much. You can create so much with it. And I think I kind of want to use this one today because I really like the color selection of it. Beautiful, easy to blend, shimmers are outstanding. I think it's around under $20, something like that. If y'all have not tried any of the ColourPop palettes, I highly recommend them. I have a few of them back there. I have like 3 or 4 of them, so I definitely recommend trying these out. This is the one we're gonna use today. Taking this shade right here called Culture. I'm just gonna take this on a fluffy brush, but first I probably should zoom you all in a little bit. I just went the wrong way, but there we go. So I'm gonna take this shade and buff into my crease. This is the one shade in the palette that it's a little bit darker than my skin tone, so it makes for a really good transition shade. Colors blend so easily. They look beautiful on the eye. I really love them. I'm just gonna buff this up. I do want to use some color today. I know I'm wearing a pretty bright shirt, but it's fine because I think whenever I do my high-end version of this, I will more than likely do something a little bit more neutral. Taking this shade right here called September. This is a kind of light purple shade. I can't really tell if it has shimmer in it. I don't think it does. If it does, it's probably a very light amount, but I'm just gonna blend this into the crease. It adds like a little bit of like a purple tone to it. Next, taking some of the shade right here called Played Out. This is a deeper kind of brown shade, so I'm gonna put that just right here on the outer V part. I'm going to buff this out. But that definitely deepened up the outer V, so I like that color right there. I don't really know what I want to put on the lid. I haven't really thought about that yet, but I am going to take my favorite brush that I do use, which is my MAC 242. That's literally the one brush I use for lid shades and probably the only brush I ever use for lid shades. So I'm going to take this brush, and I think I want to take the shade, there's literally a shade called Shade or Sassy or Strut and Slay. I think I'm going to take Strut and Slay, which is kind of like this rose gold shade over here. And my brush is wet. Like I did say, I just like wetting my brush. I feel like the color comes off more bright with every single palette. Even like my Anastasia ones, I always wet my brush. So I'm just patting this in the area that we didn't put any shadow, and then where it meets the outer part of my eye where the darkness is. The outer V, and the same thing on the other eye. The shade's really pretty. I don't think I've ever used this shade actually. And that is what we have there. I actually really like it. I think it's pretty. And then I'll put some more color on the lower lash line. Maybe we'll put a blue or something on the lower lash line. That's all we're gonna do for now for the top, but I wanna move on to the lower. So I'm just gonna take a black liner. I don't really have like a favorite one. I mean, maybe I do. Let me look, but more than likely in every video I'm using my Essence gel pencil. This is literally the best liner I've ever used in my life. And then more recently, I've been using this LA Girl liner in Very Black. I feel like this one smudges a little bit though. So I still like my Essence one more. So that is what I'm going to put on my lower lash line. So now that that is done, I'm gonna go ahead and buff out the lower lash line, add some color and stuff there. So I'm gonna take the same shade Played Out, which we put on the outer V, and I'm taking this on a flat definer brush and pushing this up against my lower lash line. And then on a kind of fat, fluffy brush, I'm gonna take the shade September, which is the purple shade that we used, and buff this out. It's got a little bit of the purple hue underneath, which I do like. I really like that color. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, but not really like a lot of shimmer. So then for eyes, like for mascara, I have like so many mascaras, but I'm only gonna use 2, and the reason I say 2 is because I have a specific like lower lash mascara that I use now, and I love my Pixie one. Absolutely love my Pixie one. This is a little bit more expensive. I believe it's over $10 for the mascara, but the wand on this is perfection. The formula is perfection. Don't use this. I highly recommend you go out and get it. If you want something a little bit more affordable though, this is the Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Mascara. This is good also, and I swear this has fibers in it. Like every time I put it on, like it definitely has fibers in it. The only thing I hate is the fibers can be a little stringy. The wand, like the tip of it is a little fat, but that's just me being picky. So I like the Pixie one because the Pixie wand's a lot smaller, but both are really great. I love both of them. They're the only things I ever use in my lower lashes, and they do get really long and pretty. But a mascara that I have recently started using, and why did I not use this sooner? This is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara. I literally travel with this. I use it every single day. If I'm wearing mascara, this is the mascara I'm wearing. This is the best freaking mascara ever, y'all. Like seriously, I'm a Too Faced Better Than Sex like junkie. I love that mascara, but this is thebomb.com. The wand is pretty big on it, resembles the Too Faced one a lot if you ask me, and it gives me the same volume. That's probably the one I'm gonna be using today. Another one I like is the L'Oreal Voluminous Feline Mascara. The wand on this is completely different. It's more controlled. It's a silicone wand, but I really like this also for getting some length and getting to the base and pulling up on your lashes. And then another mascara I love, but you can't, like you can buy it, it's just really hard to buy. This is the Max Factor Masterpiece Mascara, and it's a high volume definition mascara. These two are like probably my favorites. I got this on Amazon. My stepmom ordered it for me. It was, I think, over $10, a little close to $10, somewhere around there. Can't buy it in stores. I've never seen it in stores. I think this is like a UK mascara. So you just have to try to find it because it is so good when you do find it. And I definitely recommend trying to find it. So like I did say, Amazon does have it, so look there. But for right now, I am going to use my L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. And I'm not gonna put falsies on or anything. I'm just going to use this. So as you can tell right there, I mean, look at my lashes. That is freaking insane. I just love how like thick and voluminous they look. Cause that's what I loved about the Better Than Sex mascara, was they made me look very thick and voluminous. My lashes just look lovely. So that is the mascara right there on my lower lashes. My upper lashes, very just, ugh, I love it so much. So I'm gonna take the Pixie one now. So my lashes in both areas are just very long and lovely, and that's like my favorite thing ever. So I'm gonna zoom y'all back out, and we're gonna move on to face stuff now. So I have quite a bit of bronzers, highlights, and blushes. So moving on to bronzers, I have this like palette that Physicians Formula released earlier this year. This is the Butter Collection palette. I have it in medium deep, and then they have like a light box also. So this was limited edition. I don't know if they still have it, but you can definitely buy these individually. So they have like the bronzer, the blush, and they also have 2 highlights, and it came with a perfume which literally smells like heaven. I love this box so much just because I really am a fan of both of these highlighters, and I love the bronzer in deep. I think it's a beautiful color because the light one's a little light sometimes, and then the blush in Vintage Rouge is just stunning. But single bronzers, I have the CoverGirl True Blend bronzer, and I love this. I think it has a really nice sheen to the skin. I've used quite a bit because all the colors are starting to like mush together, but I think it has a beautiful sheen on the skin. It's very natural looking. It's not too harsh. And then something that's a little bit more like oomph behind it. This is the ColourPop bronzer, and I believe this is in like CA Dreaming, I want to say. I'm not sure. I'm popping it out right now. Yes, it is in CA Dreaming. So I bought like the pan individually and then got the compact for it on ColourPop's website. I love this shade. It's kind of a little bit more orange, but I think it's beautiful, and I think it is nice to bronze with. So I'm actually going to use the ColourPop one a day. I normally always take a duo fiber, and the ColourPop one is really pigmented, so you definitely don't need a lot of it. So I kind of just dab my brush in and then blend the product out. But it has a really nice bronze look on the skin. I don't really contour, so I like to focus the bronzer a little bit higher up. That way it gives me kind of like a natural contour. I add a little bit on my nose, and then I go ahead and take whatever's left and bronze underneath my chin. There is kick up in the pan, so normally when you go in with a heavy hand at first, you can use the rest of the kick up for like the rest of your face. There's just a lot. It's a lot of bronzer whenever it kicks up. But that's like the only bad part. But other than that, I really like the color. And as far as blushes go, I believe I have 2. And they're both obviously affordable. So I have the Makeup Revolution, the matte blush. This is in the shade Nude. This is very pigmented, so you only need a little bit, but it's a beautiful, beautiful kind of like flush shade. And then I have the Maybelline Fit Me blush, and I want to get more of these, but this is in the shade Coral, and I love this little guy. For one, I just love the size of it. I think it's really cute. I love the shade of it. It's very, very beautiful on the skin. But I am gonna take my Makeup Revolution one, and I'm gonna take my Real Techniques, like my fluffy brush, and I'm literally going to tap the pan once. You do get a little bit of kick up, but it's nothing too bad. And then I'm gonna tap it again and go in on the other side. And it gives you a really nice like flush look. And you only need a little bit of product. And then next for highlighters, I have 4, I think. Yeah, and a cream. So the cream that I've been liking a lot is from Essence. This is the Make Me Glow Liquid Highlighter. This is in the shade Morning Mist in a Bottle, and I have a hair somewhere. I love this stuff. This is beautiful for days that I want to add some cream highlight, or that I remember that I want to add some cream highlight, because I can never seem to remember. So this shade's absolutely beautiful. It's right there on my knuckle, but blended out, it's just a really, really nice, beautiful color. And then I have a ColourPop highlight. This is in the shade Wisp. I'm also loving this one. I want to get some more of these. I got this one at Ulta, but look at that bad boy. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. It's a little bit more golden. but I really like the ColourPop ones. And then I have one more from ColourPop. This is their highlight in the shade, I believe, Kitty Cat or whatever. I don't know the name. I wish they'd put the names on the back of the compacts, but this is in the shade Here Kitty Kitty, and Kathleen Lights recommended this one. I love it. I love it so, so much. Very smooth, beautiful, light highlighter. That is it right here. Oh, I absolutely love that one also. It's so beautiful. And then I've recently kind of dabbled back into my Wet n Wild Precious Petals, which is a little bit more of like a golden highlight. So it's kind of more similar to the ColourPop one, but that is it right there. Oh, I love that one. It's so pretty. The last highlight I have today is the Maybelline Master Chrome highlight. This is the collab with Naked Tutorials. I'm gonna be using this today because I love this guy, and if you want to glow, this is the way to go. So I'm just going to add this on my cheekbones. Like, can we just take a second to look at how beautiful that is? It does have some kick up in the pan, but if you are okay with that, then you just highlight your little self to death. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. Looks like a glazed donut. I'll take the same highlight and apply this to my inner corners as well as my brow bone, just so everything matches. And that is that. I mean, as you can tell, it has a beautiful glow on the skin. Absolutely love it. My inner corners are just blinding. As far as lip goes though, I mean, we have a lot of lip products here. I don't know what I'm gonna use. First, I have the Essence Matte 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 Everlasting Lip Gloss. This is in the shade O2 Beauty Approved. Love this color. It's really, really pretty. Very comfortable on the lips. They have other shades, but this is by far my best one. It's kind of like a liquid lipstick, but it doesn't ever fully dry down, but that's the color there. And then I also have the Maybelline Vivid Hot Lacquers. These are lip glosses. This is in the shade 60 Tease. Again, a stunning gloss that was released this year. These are very comfortable on the lips, very smooth, and they smell like vanilla. Like, oh, I love them. But that's the shade there. Really beautiful. Then two new favorites that I've been liking are the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Liquid Lips. One is in the shade 358 Cowboy and 354 Nudist. I shared these actually on my Instagram page. Love these, and I love the line. Very comfortable lipsticks. They don't really weigh heavy and they don't ball up or anything. And a lipstick that I've been loving is the Makeup Revolution Renaissance lipstick in the shade Prime. This is like my kind of go-to lipstick sometimes when I want a really beautiful nude shade. It has a little bit of pink to it, but it's really pretty. And then a new release this year was, of course, the ColourPop lipsticks. I have 4 of them. I love all 4 of mine. I think they're beautiful, very comfortable, easy to apply, long-wearing lipsticks. I have Boy, Quickie, Appy, and Layover. I want more. I just have to get around to ordering them sometimes. And then as far as everything else in this little container that I have for y'all, it's mostly all ColourPop, and I have a ColourPop obsession. Like, that's all my ColourPop stuff right here. I have their lippy sticks I've been loving. I have their like, what is this, Ultra Satins are my favorite. I have some glosses I've been loving, like these 3 glosses right here. I love them. I have the I Love Sahari, I can never say this name, in the shade Curvy. I have the Shayla one in the shade Freak, and then I have the Kathleen one, which is in the shade Moonchild. These are like my 3 favorite glosses right here. If I'm wearing a gloss, it's more than likely gonna be these unless it's something new. So we're gonna take an Ultra Satin, and this is the Kathleen one in the shade Dreamy. This is the shade Dreamy on my lips. I really love it. I really don't know how to describe this shade. It's kind of a little bit of a reddish nude, but it's really beautiful. But this is everything. This is my Best of Beauty Drugstore edition and my little try on for y'all. I hope y'all like that I did a try on version of it. I thought it would be more helpful to see me actually apply the products, but I love the look I did create. 2018 has been a great year, and I love all the makeup that got released, but I think 2019 is gonna be a good year both for me outside of YouTube and for like the makeup community as well. I think a lot of new releases are gonna happen. I think it's gonna be very exciting. So I will have everything linked down below just in case you're interested in anything. Definitely keep an eye out for the Best of Beauty high-end version of this for my try on. That will be up after this, so this one will be up first, and I also will be uploading my What I Got for Christmas 2018 video, so make sure you check that out. I hope you guys do enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you had a great year. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye, y'all.